Hello everyone, welcome to BISP Solutions. I am PT working here as Oracle Fusion Functional Consultant. So we were discussing in our yesterday's session regarding the organization tree. So we will continue with the same topic today. So these are the setups that we are already discussed in our day one session, and there are remaining topics for day two session that we will continue today. So let's move to our application and see how to create the organization tree in the application. So for creating organization tree, you have to go to setup and maintenance, click on the username and then click on setup and maintenance. Now change the setup area and select project financial management. Now go to project organizations. Now go to workforce structures and here you have to select that is manage organization tree. First, you have to decide what kind of hierarchy you need in your project module. Say I am creating the organization tree. I want the hierarchy that is based on organization. So select this task that is manage organization tree. So you can see here, these are the already created organization trees. Now for creating the new tree, you have to select it from here, create tree, and this is create tree version. There's one more option from where you can select to create tree. Go to actions and then click on it and select create tree. Now from here you can try to create your tree. Now while creating the tree, you have to give the name of this tree. Give the code here. Click on next. I guess again there's some issue in the instance. Let me refresh it. Now click on next. Again click on next and then submit. So in this way you have created the tree. Now you have to create the tree version. Now you have to select your tree and then again you have to go to actions and here you have to select create tree version. First we will create tree and then we will create tree versions. After creating the tree versions, we have to add the nodes. These nodes are the organization that we have created, the departments that we have created, and then we converted those departments into the organization will be selected as nodes here. Now, here you have to give the version name. I'm taking it as PPM version 1. Select the effective start date. I'm taking it as back date, that is 1st January. Now give the description here. If you want to give any note with this version name, you can mention here. Right now, I'm leaving this field blank because it is not mandatory. Click on next. You can see the message that has been shown by system. A new blank tree version created successfully. Click OK to do note operation. Now click on OK. Now here we will add the notes. Click on this add icon. So for the very first time when you are clicking on this create icon, you have to select your parent organization, or you can say the topmost level organization. Now click on search here. When you are creating the hierarchy at the global level and you want only single hierarchy to be used by your organization at global level, then what you will do, you will create the dummy organization, and then under which you will create the legal entity, and under legal entity you will select business units, and under specific business unit you will create the organization. So this is how the hierarchy works when you operate at global level. Now, if in case you have only single business unit, what you will do, you will select the business unit, and under which you will create the nodes, that is your organization. Now, as you saw, we have created only single business unit. So here we will select business unit as our parent organization, and under that business unit, we will select our organizations. Now, in the classification name, select business unit. My business unit name was PPM business unit. So here it is. Select this and click on add tree node. Here on the topmost level organization, you can select only single organization, under which you can select multiple organizations. So this is our parent organization. Now you have to select this topmost level organization, and then again you have to click on create icon. Click on search here. Now here you have to search for project expenditure organizations. So by the name of classification name, we will search it out. So our organization name is starting with PPM. So I am mentioning that in the name. And now in the classification name, I'm selecting it as project expenditure organization. You can see all the organizations that are starting with PPM will be shown here. You can see here project expenditure organization. Click on OK. Now mention PPM in your name. Now the only organization with the name PPM will be visible. Click on search. So these are the organizations that we have created and selected as project expenditure organization. I will select it and will add these nodes to the tree. Now I'm expanding our parent organization and you can find out that these are the child organization that you can find out under business unit. So in this way, I have created the tree and the tree version. If in case you have missed adding any of the organization in the hierarchy, then you won't be able to use this organization in the project creation time or at the time of creating any transaction in the projects. So you have to be more focused and you should select all your organization with which you are expecting to pass any transaction in the project in the future. Now you have to click on submit. You can see the message here. Tree version PPM version 1 for tree PPM has been created successfully. Now click on OK and now expand this parent organization. Now you will see the version status will be draft that you have to convert into the active. You can see here the draft status. Now how you will convert this status into active? You have to select this PPM version 1 and then you have to go to actions and then go to set status and click on active. Now this has directed you to the audit page where you have to click on schedule audit. After this only the status will be changed to active. So for that you have to click on schedule audit tab and you have to submit this process. So the process is submitted. Now click on OK. Again go to this task, expand it, click this. You can see here the message status of tree version PPM version 1 changed to active. Now, one more thing is that we have to flatten it. There are two types of flattening, that is column flattening and row flattening. Whereas column flattening is not a mandatory step, but the row flattening is very mandatory. So you have to perform this task. Then only you will be able to use the hierarchy in your project. Now click on online flattening. Click on schedule flattening and submit this process. It will synchronize your tree. Now, how system will know which project unit will use which hierarchy? Now, for that, you have to go to different tasks where you have to mention that which business unit or project unit will use the hierarchy. Go to project organization. Now go to configure project accounting business function. Now here we will decide which hierarchy to be used and this will work at your business unit level. Select your tree name here. So this was my tree name. Now here you have to select the version. Say if you are managing more than one version in your tree, then here you have to select the version that which version should be used by your project. Now we have created only single version, so I'm selecting that only here. It is asking you for organization. Now, if in case you are using different hierarchy for project task owning organization and expenditure organization, you have to enable this checkbox and then these will fields will get active. And if in case you are using the same hierarchy for both the purpose, then it will automatically copy to project expenditure organization. So right now I am using the same hierarchy for project task owning organization and project expenditure organization. And here you have to select the accounting period. In the costing currency conversion, say if you are passing any transaction that are indulged into multi-currency transaction, then you have to select the rate here, rate type as corporate and date type as transaction date, accounting date. And in the costing, you have to select the expenditure cycle start date. So I'm selecting it as Monday. Now there's a one more important setup that is very, very important setup. Now you have to go to advanced tab. In the advanced tab, if you are into cross charge mechanism in your project, that means if you are doing the business with your operating units, then you have to mention the date type, rate type here. And one more setup is project unit. Now, through this setup, you will link all the project units here with your business unit. So these are my three project units that I will link here. In this way, you will associate your project units with your business units. Now click on save and close. So this is the very important setup. In my first session, I told you that we are not able to see our project unit at one place. So now when you will get back to that same task, you will be able to see your project unit there. So go to project unit option, select your project unit here. Click on edit icon. Now click on next. Now you can see here in our previous task, we have associated our project unit with business unit. Therefore, it is a reason that now our business unit is visible in this list, which was not visible earlier in our first session. So in this way, you can associate your project units with your business unit. Now click on save and close. Now let's move to our PPT to see what are the topics of day 3. So we have completed the remaining 2 topics that have been left due to instance not working. So these are the topics for day 3. Move to our application. So we have discussed all the tasks now. This is a task where you have to submit the single process. So click on it and we have to simply click on submit. You can see here the description. This task is used to maintain organization information in project financial management applications. Run this process after you add organization, project classifications, or business units, and after you update project organization, classification, or hierarchies. Simply, it will synchronize your changes with the project financial management application. So you have to submit this process. Click on submit and now click on OK. So this is the data access for user, and this task will be discussed later when it will be required. Now, in the user and security, go to manage user, and now here we will link our implementation user with the user. Click on this task, click on add icon. We are linking our implementation user with the employee user so that he can work on this project. Click on link user, and then you have to click on this link. Search for the user that we have created. Click on OK. Now you have to give the person type here, employee. Select your legal entity here. Then select your business unit. Now there was one task that is creating job. Now we have to select the job here. Go to setup and maintenance. Select the setup area as project financial management. So select this task. So by using this task, we have created one job. Search for it. So this was the job that we have created in our last session. And now, what is the use of this job? We have to use this same job while creating the implementation user as employee user. And here we will select his job role. Now click on this and click on OK. Click on save and close. So this is how we can convert our implementation into our employee user. Let's move to our PPT. So we have seen both the tasks. Now we will move to our next task, that is manage accounting calendar. So in the project module, we have a functionality available, that is we can manage two different periods, that is per project module We can specifically manage the different project accounting calendar. If in case we want our project calendar to define as weekly, then for the project module specifically, this functionality is available where we can manage the calendar which will be different from your general ledger calendar. Or else you can use the same calendar that you are using for general ledger. To define project calendar and periods, manage calendars, accounting period statuses, and project accounting period statuses used for costing, budgeting, forecasting, billing, and project performance reporting. Now, here in the project calendars, calendars can be weekly, monthly, quarterly, or any other time period as per your business requirement. Generally, in the general ledger, we use monthly period, but in the project, as per your business requirement, you can set the frequency of for your period. In the project module, there is a functionality that is only available for project. In the Oracle Fusion, this functionality is not available for any other module, but in the project, Oracle provides you with the functionality where you can use the calendar, which is different from your general ledger calendar. We can use an accounting period other than general ledger accounting period. We can use the accounting period for project module specifically. For configuring the setup of accounting period, we have to select the task that is configure project accounting business function. Now, when you created the project accounting calendar or you have selected the accounting calendar as GL only, where you will mention that, I will tell you. Let's move to our application and we'll see. Go to project unit organization. Select this task. Click on basics. Now here you can select your accounting period. So if you are using the same accounting period as you are using for GL, then you don't have to enable this checkbox. If in case you are using different project accounting period, then you have to enable this checkbox and this field will get activated and here you can select the project accounting calendar. Right now I'm not using the different accounting calendar for projects, so I am disabling it. Click on save and close. So if you, in case you are managing different calendar or specific calendar for project purpose, you after creating it, you have to mention it or you have to configure it in the task that is configure project accounting business function. For managing the accounting period, select the task. If you want to manage the accounting period as per the GL, then you have to select the task manage accounting period for project financial management. Here you will use the common period for GL and for project. And if in case you are using a specific accounting period for project, then you have to select the task that is manage project accounting period. If specific accounting period is in use for project. Now we will move to our application to see the setup related to this purpose. Again, refresh it. Go to project foundation. And now click on first task that is manage accounting calendars. You will define the calendars in projects only when you are using different calendar from your GL calendar. Now you can see here, this accounting calendar is related to general ledger. Now when you are managing your accounting calendar on the basis of your general ledger, you will use this task. We will not make any changes. Generally, we use monthly period. Say, I'm selecting this. Generally, in the general ledger, we use monthly period. You can see here the name, the description. It have only one adjusting period at the year end, and format is triple MYY. That means it is operating on the monthly basis. You can manage the periods here if you want to add the year. You can manage here. So by this task, you can manage the periods in the accounting calendar when you are using the same calendar as general ledger. Now next, move to our next task, that is manage accounting periods for project financial management. So here we were talking about general ledger, and here we are specifically talking about project financial management. Now you are not able to see anything here because the application is general ledger, but we are working in project foundation, and it here you can search it out by your ledger name. So this is the ledger. Click on this ledger and you will be able to see the status of periods in this ledger for your project purpose. You can see ledger is US primary ledger, application is project foundation. So these are the status and periods for project. Say if in case your general ledger is using the monthly calendars, but in project for some purpose, you want to maintain the frequency of period as weekly, then here the periods will change. Right now, it is using the same calendar as general ledger. Therefore, you are able to see monthly period and you can manage the status of this period. Say July 23 is showing the status as open and August 23 is showing the status as future enterable. Say if in case you want to open this period for your project purpose, you can simply select this period and click on Open Period tab. And this process has been submitted. Click on Done. Again, open it. You will be able to see now your September period is future enterable and your August period is open. This is how you can manage the period in the project. Now click on Done. So here you can manage the period related to project. Whenever you manage the period at general ledger level, it will always manage at ledger level. And whenever we manage the period at project accounting calendar level, it will work at business unit level. Now go to manage project accounting periods. Click on this and it will ask you for business unit. You can see here in our last two tasks, we are considering that our project is using the same accounting calendar as general ledger. Therefore, it was working on the level of ledger level. And right now we are talking about managed project accounting period where project is work overall on the basis of business unit level. So here you have to select your business unit. You can see here the periods. Now you are not able to make any changes here because you can see here the yes for common accounting and project accounting periods. It's because you are using the same accounting calendar as you are using for your general ledger accounting calendar. Therefore, this field is showing yes, and it is not allowing you to make any changes. If you want to make any changes to it, you have to make change to our previous task. Now click on done. If we are using specifically for project, then here it will say no and you will be able to make your required changes. But right now we are using the same calendar for both the purpose. So here it is not allowing you to make any changes. Click on done. Now let's move to our PPT again. So it was all about accounting calendars. Now we will take a overview of project type. So we have discussed these three tasks also. Now what is project type? A project type is a primary classification for the project your business manages. A project type provides control. A project type provides control on how Oracle projects process the projects along with defaults for project setup. You can use the project type for reporting and for auto counting purpose. You must set up at least one project type to create projects in Oracle projects. Without project type, you won't be able to create your project in the project module. So there are some example of project type, that is indirect project type, capital project type, billing project type. At the time of selecting the classification of organization, we have seen then it was asking you for the project type. Let me show you in the application. See here, it is asking you whether you want to use your project for indirect purpose, capitalization purpose or billing purpose. So you can take these also as a basis for your project type. So now let's move to our application to see how to create the project time, and it is a very mandatory step because without this you cannot create your project in the project module. You have to define at least one project type in the application. Select here project financial management. Go to project foundation and then select project type here. Click on this create icon, and these are already created project type. You can see here this project type is a billable project type and also available for capitalization. For billing, for capitalization, we have to do different setups for it. We will see now. Click on create icon. Now say I am creating the indirect project. Indirect project type means it is an internal project. Now here you have to select the reference data set. I am selecting it as common. Here you have to select from which date this project type will be activated. I'm selecting it as 1st January, that is backdate. I don't want this project type to be enabled for burdening cost. I don't want this project type for enabling for billing purpose or for capitalization purpose. Now, if I'm not enabling this checkbox, you can see here no field is activated. When you will select or when you will enable these checkboxes here, then only these field will be activated and you have to fill the required information here. But right now, I'm not selecting this project type for any of these purpose. So this is a simple project which is based on internal expenses only. Now click on save and close. This is how we created our indirect project type. You can see here the project type that we have created. Now we will create one more project type, that is capital project type. Select the set here. Again, select the date here. Now, this is the project type. We are taking it as capitalization project type. So you will allow this project type to allow the capitalization of the cost. So whatever the projects that you are creating with this project type will be allowed to capitalize the cost. So for that, we are required to do some configuration that is related to capitalization. For that, first step is you have to enable this checkbox. By the time I have enabled this checkbox, you will see here, the fields in the capitalization option will get activated. Now it is asking you which kind of cost you want to capitalize, raw or burden. Say I want to capitalize raw cost, so select it here as raw cost. On what basis you want to group asset line. So here you will select it as all. Asset line grouping method will be selected as all. Now asset cost allocation method. Whatever the cost we are incurring in the project, I want to directly apply for capitalization. So I'm selecting it as here none. Event processing method is none. Now, if you require complete asset definition, you can enable this checkbox. Use grouping method for supplying invoice. Yes. So I'm not using this project type for burdening purpose. So I am not enabling this checkbox. And if you have any specific class category, you can easily add here. So click on save and close. This is how you have created project type for capitalization purpose. Now you will see here, we will also see that in our project type, this checkbox will be enabled. So this is our indirect project type where we did selected it for billing and capitalization. So it is not showing any of the right marks here, but in the capitalization project type, we have selected this project type for capitalization purpose. So it is enabled here for capitalization. This is how we will create the project type in the application. And at the time of creation of project, we will see where to select this project type. Now our next option is configure project numbering. Now here we will decide to select how to do numbering for our project, automatic or manual. Select this task, that is configure project numbering. Click on this add icon. Now here you will decide on what basis you need to do configuration. You can use business unit, project type, project unit. I'm taking it as business unit. Select it as project unit. So I'm configuring this setup on the project unit level. Now for deciding on what basis your project will be get numbered, for that you have to click on this create icon. Select your project unit here. Select manual. When you will select your numbering type as manual, this prefix and next number will get disappeared. Say manually I am entering the project number as PPM 01. So your prefix and next number is not relevance here. Type is alphanumeric or numeric. I'm taking it as alphanumeric. Now select the next project unit. Say I want automatic numbering for this project unit, then this type will get disappeared and prefix I'm using as PPM and next number will be 000, and after that 000 system will automatically take some number. In the prefix, we will get PPM and the next number 000, PPM 000, and say system is automatically taking 54. Then our project number will be PPM 00054. But right now I'm taking it as manual. Let's do the same for our next project unit. Click on save and close. So this is how we can select how to get numbering for our project. Let's move to our PPT. So in today's session, we discussed how to submit the process to maintain project organization. Here, your organization will be synced to your project financial management. We have seen how to create the implementation user as your employee user so that he will be eligible to start working on your project. This is a mandatory step. And then we have seen how to manage the calendars in the project accounting calendars and in the GL. Here we have seen that Oracle provides us with the different functionality or with the unique functionality where you can select different accounting period for project. If in case your business required to maintain different period frequency, then you can go with this option. Else, if you want to maintain the period as same as general ledger accounting period, then you can select it here. You can manage the status of the periods from these tasks. Then we have seen how to create the project type. You can create multiple number of project types as per your business requirement. Then we have seen how to configure the project numbering. On what basis you want to number your project, you can select from this task. So it was all for today. Thank you so much for joining us. If in case you have any query, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you so much for watching the session. Have a good day.